All I want is everything. That is the theme of the next large-scale work that I will be making. I have a few different ideas for it, but I haven't picked which one is actually gonna make it onto the big paper yet. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys the rough ideas, and I'm hoping you can tell me your favorite, so that will help me decide which one I'm actually going to do on a large scale. And this is important because I don't make that many large, super complex pieces. I would love to do more, but unfortunately I'm not a full-time artist yet. So I need to choose an idea carefully. So I'm gonna show you the ugly sketches that I have, which are the very initial drafts of this next piece. And I'm really curious to see what you guys are gonna think. But before I show you, let me just explain where this theme came from and why I'm not continuing the mini graphic novel that I was posting for a while, at least right now. So in case you guys haven't noticed, I have been having an obsession with the Virgin Mary for the last few months. Who is she really? Who was she? What was her life really like? What does virgin really mean? What was really in her heart? Because we never know about that, right? And I have some other videos about this subject, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But my original plan was to involve her in the next large-scale piece. And this is where this theme of all I want is everything originally came from. It actually started with her, because previously I had been working on my other series with my other character, Mira, and that series is all about the main character striving to get out of scarcity, quite literally, with money, with love, with all of the things. And so I realized that it was important to illustrate the opposite of scarcity, to illustrate abundance and overflowing, and that's what you see here. To be honest, I don't really like this drawing. I really want to redo it. I just don't like how it came out. I like the sketch better, even though it's very rough. But this was supposed to be something to counteract scarcity. So you can see there's the money here and the cups, the flowers, there's all kinds of nuts and dried fruits and herbs and tea, and there's the mountains that are green and lush in the background. But unfortunately, I cannot continue this Virgin Mary story right now, because very shortly after I illustrated this, guess what I manifested? After a very long time in solitude, in deep solitude, I manifested for myself pretty much everything that you see here in this drawing. Flowers, things I wanted being bought for me, an abundance of dried fruits and nuts, herbs, so much tea, trips to nice hotels, trips to beautiful places I had never been before, etc., etc. However, the next part of her story involves the Virgin getting pregnant. And that cannot happen right now. And since I keep having this thing where the things that I illustrate and write about keep happening for me, I cannot illustrate the next part of this story because the stakes are just too high. And I don't have the resources. There's a lot of reasons. Furthermore, the man in question, like in the story that I myself wrote, the man in question is not someone I can actually get married to. So that's another thing. So unfortunately, I have to leave her behind for the time being. I do want to finish this mini graphic novel. I promise I will. But I find myself struggling a little bit with scarcity mentality still. So I'm gonna expand upon this theme, but in a different way with a different character. And this next piece of art is going to be a spell against scarcity. So that's the reason why I'm calling it All I Want Is Everything. It's not just because we're greedy bitches, which we are, but it's because scarcity mentality is something that's really difficult to walk away from. And so to help with that, I want to bring in the dark feminine and blend the dark feminine with this light feminine energy. So we need Lilith. I had been developing a relationship with Lilith for 2 years before I realized how much she really has to do with scarcity and not having a scarcity mentality. Think about it. Lilith walked away from the Garden of Eden, the literal paradise that God created. And she wasn't afraid. She wasn't thinking, oh my gosh, what if there isn't another garden? She didn't let those types of thoughts enter her mind or control her. She wasn't being controlled by fear. She wasn't being controlled by scarcity. She left, she found another garden. She had faith in abundance, in the abundance of the world. So that is what I want to expand upon. So let me show you the ideas. Okay, first, these are very crude, very ugly sketches. So first we have Mira sitting on her bed, and this is like the universe bringing everything in that she's been asking for. There's gonna be, whichever idea we go with, there's gonna be a lot of detail, a lot of food, a lot of flowers, a lot of things, all of that stuff. But this is just the basic shapes for now. So it's basically just the universe bringing in everything, and she's sitting there receiving it. So that's one idea. The second idea, I actually lost it. I drew it and then I drafted it again, but I didn't like it. But it's Lilith and Samael, and it's in an outdoor setting, and they have this beautiful spread with shisha and everything. And so that's the second idea. I really do like this idea. I want to do it better. I want to do it in a fully realized drawing, but I just haven't got to it yet. So that's one possibility for the big piece. The third one, I actually drew on the bus last night. So these ideas, the first two ideas, I kind of got in the middle of the night. And then the third one, I actually drew it on the bus yesterday evening. And again, it's Mira, but she's not alone this time. She is on this table, and there's gonna be all this food and this beautiful cloth and lots of other things. The overall piece is gonna be more zoomed out. This is just a very zoomed in one because it's really small and I'm trying to get the figures. And again, it's really bad, but sometimes I have to draw bad. And so he's putting food into her mouth and she's laying there, and the setting in the background is gonna be this like palace or temple or something like that. So that's the third idea. So let me know which one is your favorite. Number one, we have the universe bringing everything. 2, Lilith and Samael. And 3, Mira on the table with all the food, having food shoved into her mouth. That's what I have. Those are the ideas. So hopefully next week I will be able to show you guys some initial drafts on the actual large paper, and we'll see how it's coming along. And there has to be text as well. Got to figure that out. In the meantime, I am drafting other things. So if you guys want to stay updated, make sure you get on the email list, because that's where I send the weekly every single Thursday. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Toodles.